Do you want me to wait until you
No,
start
just
recording?
just do whatever. We're here now, so
Are we recording right now?
it's on. Scott's disappearing.
Please leave this in as the intro before you do the intro. I have one complaint about Dark Souls 3, and that is the fact that it is locked at 60 frames.
I don't mind that.
Well, I do because I have a 144 hertz monitor, and I
You
want to see
want
this at 400 frames.
you want to smell the frame rate.
Yeah.
I am the great saucy num nums.
I like how I'm already fighting the Crystal Lizard, and we haven't even started yet.
Yeah, we'll start right now.
Da, da, da,
All right.
da, 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 da.
Oh.
Remember,
Dun,
children,
dun, dun,
fight
dun,
the Crystal
dun.
Lizard with a
Ba, ba,
bandit knife.
ba,
Da,
ba.
da, da,
Ba, 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 ba.
da.
By the way, I low-key turned up the music because I just love it. I'm sorry. If I need to turn it down, let me know.
No, I always have the game muted.
Oh, okay. So just I'll be able to hear it. Oh,
Yeah, you can make it as loud as you want.
well, maybe not that because then I won't be able to hear you two. Actually, that's perfect. Let me do a podcast where the entire
You just
episode
have
I
a
can't
total
hear what you two are
disjointed
saying.
conversation.
I'm talking about like pixies and fairies, and you guys are talking about like serious, horrible things.
I am.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Has the recording started already?
Hello and welcome to Conversations on a Broken Couch. My name is Nathaniel Welch, and I'm joined, as always, by Scott and Brandon. Today, the footage that Brandon is providing is of his dagger-only run on Dark Souls 3. Uh, yeah, so enjoy that. I'm sure he will be as he tries to concentrate on talking to us and playing that. But I know he can do it because I've watched him fight the soul of Cinder with this thing, and we've had a whole conversation the entire time. So, all right, how we doing,
ready
guys?
for elite gameplay of
Um,
Dark Souls 3?
was that wasn't the Oh, what was his name? You put the short out. Bungus, Bumpus,
Ludix Gundyr.
Buttface. No, no,
Who are we
the
talking
guy
about?
you made.
Oh,
Bobbert.
Buttfart.
That's the one.
Oh, Bobbert.
Oh,
Bobbert.
Bobbert. That
Was
Brandon
that
was
the
gonna call
Bobbert?
butt farts. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was another name that I
yeah.
Okay.
cut out. I think.
And you told me I wasn't allowed to go with butt farts. You also cut out the amazing joke I made that I won't spoil because eventually I want you to post it as a short. Do you remember what the joke was?
I do. There's
That
a
joke
reason I
should
cut
never
it
see the
out.
light of day.
Such a good joke, though.
Yeah, I agree, but anyway.
Okay.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Uh,
I'm in a mushroom forest right now. I don't know how I got here.
um.
I was walking along one day and I think I walked
Yeah.
through like a portal or something, ended up in Mushroom Fairyland.
Oh, he's doing
With
this.
the cotton candy trees. Doing good, doing good.
I
Yo,
was
how
gonna
did
And a
say I
lot of
can't tell if you're in Kirby, Mario, or an Illumination movie, but those are kind of the same thing now.
they're kind of the same thing now. Except for the Kirby, but it's only a
But who
matter of time
knows,
before
dude? It's
Illumination does a
it's only a
Kirby
matter of
movie.
time. Yeah, dude, I
Um,
could totally see them making. I can already hear Waddle Dee just cracking jokes
yeah,
while
man.
Kirby just
But it's
silent
the same guy who
protagonists
played
his way through the
Toad.
movie.
I can't wait for
No,
Kirby to be played
actually,
by Jack Black.
I would
If Kirby
love.
talks. No, Meta Knight. Jack Black's got to be Meta Knight.
Nah, King DDD.
But all right. If Jack Black played Meta Knight, he has to do his Nacho Libre voice, so it
Yeah,
keeps the
something
whole
like that.
like
Is
Mexican
Jack
kind of
Black's
sound that.
is his Nacho Libre voice different than his regular voice?
He just talks like
Really?
this. He
Yeah,
just
that's
that's
kind
not
of
not
has
like
this
Mexican.
sound.
That's just whisper
Whisper.
talking.
Yeah, it'd be great for Meta Knight. Kirby,
Kirby.
pick up the sweats.
Oh.
Get that corn out of my face. Kate Bush.
Dude, the funniest part of that movie is him shoving the toast under the door.
Yeah.
That's the funniest part of that movie.
I never got into Nacho Libre the same way you guys did.
It
I
is
can't lie. Like
hilarious.
Lucas used to try and
I'd
watch
say,
it all the time, and I just like, I'm good, thank you.
It would definitely be what I would call a guilty pleasure movie at this point in my life.
Because now you're an
Um,
adult, you're like, oh, this movie's actually terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
I don't
such a
think it's-
bad movie, but like
Uh,
there's some bits in there that I can still laugh at. Like the baptism
Oh,
where
he's
he
cheesing him.
gets the bowl of water under the dude's face and was yeah, that's pretty good.
oh, he's
Um,
teasing him.
how about you guys? How have you been? I haven't talked to you guys in a bit.
I'm doing good, man. Just living, working. Last episode, we were supposed to record with Wes, right?
We did.
Right?
Scott and
The
I did.
superhero one?
Yeah, we
I
still
was
did
sick.
that.
Yeah.
I was sick and needed a week off. So
We had some technical problems in that episode. Everything sounded so far
Oh
apart.
yeah, it was so weird, dude. I have no idea what happened, mic wise,
dang.
but I made it listenable. So Wes said it was. Wes had listened to it. He had a uh like a road trip he was on, so we listened to it on the way back, and he said that it sounded pretty fine to him, and I was like, yeah, I got the audio to a good place, but if you look at the video, none of our lips match. None of them. They're not aligned at all for the entire time. but they're close.
is it bad, Nathaniel? My intrusive thought here is to move my mouth a bunch and then do like the old Chinese movie where my voice comes out like 5 seconds later just to mess with you.
Like in
Just
like
the
the
old
old
the old
Godzilla
old
movies that got dubbed
samurai
over.
dub or something. Yeah.
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 Hello, how are you
Oh
today?
gosh.
Yeah. We need to do a bit like that sometime.
I'm only allowed 3 attempts at this tree before I have to move on because I'm wasting time. Oh gosh, I'm so rusty. I haven't played Dark Souls in like
It's probably since our last
Eight.
video.
yeah, actually true.
I can't remember the last time I played Dark Souls. Maybe. I think the last time I played Dark Souls, it was with Brandon. And
That sounds about right.
we were in what's the place that you go to after you fight it's with the crocodile and the bridge and you have to get the items so you can pass through the portal.
And
At the end
Orlando.
of
The Boreal Valley.
No, no,
Irithyll.
it's
Irithyll,
it's
the
the
Boreal
city
Valley.
and it has
Yeah.
the really tall people that try to light you on fire.
Yeah, that's Irithyll.
Yeah. Irithyll.
Irithyll, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is wait, we never even got past Pontiff Sullivan?
No, that was it actually. We beat so we got there. It was a little bit after that, and then we beat Pontiff Sullivan, and that was it. That was the last time I played.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we should
I've
finish
never
that
beaten Dark
eventually.
Souls 3.
We should finish that.
It's
I don't
a
know
good
if you're
time.
I don't-
character.
Maybe one day. Maybe I'd have to get back
Maybe one
into
day.
it.
3-person
I will-
co-op? Or we get Carter
I
in
will
there, 4
drag you
guys.
through that.
Can you have 4 people?
That would be cool.
You can have
I
4
want to do
people.
a complete lance build. Just
if you
spears.
use
All
a
those?
dried finger, you can have 4 people in some zones.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
For those who haven't watched the Dark Souls video, an intro to Dark Souls that Nate and I recorded,
The first
feels like
video
10,000
ever.
years ago now.
It's been
Oh,
over
Pay
a
attention to this podcast, and you will see all sorts of little tips and tricks for the starting area to make your life much easier.
Brandon would know. He is the master soul. His is darkest than most.
Or you could go in. I'm trying to
Whoa.
think of the term. What is it like? We're just going raw and
Yeah, you could go in
Yeah.
raw, but
dude,
You know.
I can't remember the term. Just brute force your way through it.
Have you guys been
you-
playing any fun games lately?
Have I?
so
No.
Dawn of War, the Dawn of War series got a remaster, which I played about
Cool.
10. I've only played 10 hours so far, so I can't really speak too
That's-
much.
Still a lot.
That was one session. I was just doing one campaign.
Oh wow. That's still a lot.
It seems that way, but it's really not as much as you would think.
I have a hard time committing more than 2 or 3 hours to it. Well, no, I can't say that right now. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy, and that goes on to 5 to 6 hour stints at a time. So, but 10 hours feels like a lot to me. Like I'd have to put a whole day. Like I couldn't go to work. I'd have to sit there for a whole day in order to justify that to myself. But even then, I have a hard time playing video games for a long time because I feel like there are other things that I could be doing right now, like writing this book that I continue to keep putting off. But
See, I'm a total degen, so I just play video games all day, every day. It's great. You should try
well,
it.
video games are your passion in life. It's your hobby.
It truly
It keeps
is.
you sane after a long day of work.
It keeps me from. I don't know where I was gonna go with that joke. I'm gonna stop now.
Fill in the blank here at Conversations
Mad
on a
Libs.
Broken Couch.
Oh, dude,
Leave in the comments what you think I was going to say,
dude,
and I'll tell you
someday,
how wrong you are.
We
someday,
should do a Mad Libs
the three of
episode.
us are gonna make a whole book. We're gonna make a whole book that's just like full of Mad Libs, like structured around the three of us.
We'll have an entire chapter
Fun.
called "Things Brandon Would Have Said," and it's just.
Fill in the blanks, and they're probably all accurate.
You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I'm that one friend you both have where literally, within reason, of course, anything could come out of my mouth at any time.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Generally speaking, I mean, typically it's not vulgar, but you know.
Right, not talking about that, but just like weird things. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'm that dude that's just like the filter sometimes disappears, and you can tell.
Brandon,
Oh, yeah.
is the game eating itself on your screen right now?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You'll just have to. It might have fixed actually, but you'll just need to watch back and see.
Okay.
I'm just
Why
gonna
is it
leave.
super choppy?
I'm just gonna
What's it
leave
doing?
it. I'm just,
Are you gonna leave
I
it in?
see it too, Nate.
yeah.
What's it doing?
It looks like it's frame skipping.
It is a little bit because it's locked at 60 frames and my monitor is
Oh, yeah.
144, and I don't know.
You
I don't
can see
remember.
that, but I'm so used to playing Monster Hunter World at 30 frames, and I'm still thinking, wow, this is so smooth.
That's
All right,
dreadful.
I'm gonna get into this. I don't understand the whole.
Oh.
I'm gonna stop watching the stream so that I don't lose a whole lot of, connection with you guys.
I love that
Um,
I'm able to hold this conversation while playing, and you can't even watch me play without losing your focus.
No, I can't. Sure, we were talking about this before. I don't know if Nate will include it, but I'm pretty bad at multitasking. I have a hard time watching a podcast and playing a game at the same. Well, listening to a podcast
Scott,
and playing a game at the same time
I
because
think
I don't want
that
to
is
miss anything.
completely okay to not be good at that.
Not
and
everyone
I-
is. Not
I
everyone.
Oh
is meant-
yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not,
think you
putting
should-
myself down.
You should. Like, I've gone out of my way to unteach myself how to do that.
Oh really?
Hmm
Really, you don't want to know. You don't
No.
want to be able to multitask.
And it's not that I can't. I mean, I can listen to a podcast or a sermon while cooking or cleaning the bathroom or vacuuming or doing the dishes, right? I can do that kind of stuff. But when it comes to everything else, I don't do that anymore because I just want to try to be fully present.
Yeah,
And I feel like
get
I've
Yeah.
spent so long not doing that. And so I used to be, well, I want to be doing this while doing this while doing this, but just for the sake of
You want to be
efficiency.
able to
But
give one thing your
there
entire.
comes a
undivided
point
attention.
where
Yeah.
efficiency is not worth sacrificing actually being there, right?
Yeah.
So I have kind of untaught myself how to multitask.
And I get it. I understand what you're saying, but in the case of what I'm saying is the playing of the video game part it's just the monotony, like repetitive stuff. It's not the stuff that
Yeah, you're talking
I'm
about
not like playing through like a story mission or
the
anything. I'm
Praetorium
just like
for the
sure,
23rd
yeah.
time.
It's like I'm gonna
watching
put the
Gaia's
controller down and go walk
monologue.
away and take a shower because this cutscene's gonna take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Make a
like trying to
sandwich.
listen to a podcast at the same time is it's a little hard sometimes. But I think it's really cool, Brandon, that you can do that. But at the same time, I'm glad that you have stopped doing that because I remember seeing how not necessarily like it took a toll on you, but I could see how it could affect you.
Like
Well,
your brain
that
wasn't
makes sense.
naturally geared to be able to focus on 10 things at once, so you were overstretching your mind.
It's
maybe?
like
Is that-
the kind of thing that. Well, I don't know where Scott was going with that.
I
but
just think the enjoyment factor was starting to
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
were starting to lose a little bit of the enjoyment.
absolutely, absolutely,
Um,
and everything. But yeah, it's the kind of thing where I've just made. I guess what I'm saying of unteaching myself that is I've made myself okay with doing both.
Yeah.
Because I can still be like playing an instrument and being able to sing at the same time is to some degree multitasking. I can
Yeah.
still do that. But rather than what I used to do before, where I would be playing an instrument and singing and listening to a click track and thinking about the rest of the band and quite possibly going, what am I going to eat later?
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, I've I've tried to limit it as much as possible to just thinking about what's going on right now. And I've tried to do that with some of the things too. Like every game, I felt like I want to be able to listen to this thing or watch this thing, and but no, I just want to set aside time and actually just play it. Um,
Right.
so, or just
That was
that that's
unnecessary.
what made it the hardest to watch movies forever is I felt like, oh, I'm only doing one thing right now. I'm wasting my time. Because all I'm doing is
I
watching
feel
this
You,
movie.
Nathaniel, that's weird because most people don't run into issues like that till they're like 30 and they're like, I'm wasting my life. You were doing that at 12.
I'm probably not that young, but it's just I
16 at the
it,
very
it's
least.
so easy to get so stuck in the mindset of I need to be doing all these things that when
Yeah.
you're only spending time on one thing, um, it can feel like, oh man, I'm not doing enough. But the problem with that is eventually you'll realize I've watched all these things, I've done all these things, but I can barely remember anything about them because I wasn't actually paying attention.
Yeah.
That's like we learned this actually one time in Bible study with Doc Scott, if you remember. That's what people misunderstand what listening means. And that's kind of what you're describing right now is like listening and truly listening are two very different things. And most
Yeah.
people don't
Right.
understand that.
hmm
So like for you what you're saying is paying attention and doing something else is completely different world than, you know, I'm actually going to sit down, absorb this information, contemplate it and think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
So,
great
in that
example.
sense, go ahead.
I was just gonna say a great example that made me think of what you were saying there. Is yeah, being a good listener. That's something I've tried to really develop because I want to be a good listener. And the one thing that I've heard the most, that I've applied the most, is stop thinking about what you're gonna say while the person is
Yeah.
saying it. Or if you do think of something, like, okay, just leave that in the back and listen, hear out what, because there comes a point where that happens, where you go, oh, maybe I'm gonna say this next, and you stop actually paying attention to what the person was saying and start thinking about how you're going to say what you were going to say. But if you
Then you're
stop
too
and
busy
listen to the whole
contemplating.
thing and then go, okay, what am I going to say now that you've got all the information? Um, it
Oof.
that's part of being a good listener. But it's the whole thing that you've heard this before. We were made to be human beings, not human doings. And so, especially don't let that apply to your hobbies. If your hobbies become doings and not beings, uh, it can, you know, you'll just not be, not get out of them what you could otherwise. So.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's good. That's gospel.
Is it?
Man. Anyways, okay. I don't know why I decided to go that route with it, but here we are.
You been playing anything, Nate?
Legs
um,
shouldn't do that.
it's not
Sorry.
too much really, but what is it? I think 2 Saturdays ago now, so 2 weeks ago, um, I got to spend a day with Carter,
Oh,
guy
cool.
who
That's
we
sick.
have mentioned multiple times, but none of y'all listening have met yet. One day, he was on his just passing through and needed a place to crash for the night. So, we spent the whole day playing Smash Bros. Brawl. That's pretty much
Dude,
what we did.
That's
legendary.
awesome.
And
Brawl is the best one.
that game is a lot of fun. Uh, and I'm still. It's weird because all I ever played it with back in the day was the Wiimote and the nunchuck,
Yeah.
and that's what we played it with, both of us, because that's the limitation of the Wii U. You can't
We
plug
had.
controllers in and stuff. But after having played so much of Wii U and um, Ultimate and 3DS with pretty much a standard controller, a control scheme in some way, it was odd playing the whole game with the nunchuck again. But yeah, we didn't do Subspace Emissary, nothing like that. We literally just played Brawl and talked for
Did you guys play the
hours,
story
and it was
together?
awesome. No, we just
Yeah.
fought CPUs and each other for the whole time. So
That's
it was
awesome.
great.
That's cool.
Yeah, we went from fighting, going like getting ourselves used to the mechanics again, and then 7s to 8s to nasties, just all of us fighting each other too.
Wait, you were fighting nasties?
Yeah,
You guys,
just
I
level
I
9s.
forget how much better all of you are at those games than I am. I would fight a 6 and be proud of myself.
To just fighting each other in the classic Final Destination no items, and then we quickly learned, wait, what if we both really like Shadow Moses Island, so we just stayed on that map multiple times in a row, just kept
Oh
playing it,
no.
because it's so fun
awesome.
because it has those walls, but there's that little area that you get
Mhm.
down into in the bottom, and it's like this cage, and it makes it so
Contained, yeah.
you can have these fights where you both end up with like 150% or more before, and still not get knocked out of the stage because of how low you are. Um, so it was a lot of fun, and it was really good to see him. But
Dude,
it's
I miss
gotten
hanging out with
me
Carter.
uh, back into um, watching some Smash stuff again.
Oh, cool.
And as well as
Or like
speed
the
running, because
esport?
because I associate those things with each other. When I got into speed running, it eventually got me into watching Smash. So I've just started, like, not a lot, but it's just, for example, last night before bed I just watched 30 minutes of old Melee clips and that
That's
kind of
awesome.
stuff. So um,
Oh
yeah,
gosh. Old
It's
days, man.
Smash Bros has like this weird, both super wholesome, awesome esports community, and also one of the most toxic esports communities I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It is odd how like they're just so toxic, but also very endearing.
I think it would be better. I think it would be less toxic. Let me say that if it was Nintendo officially supported. I actually had this thought, and I don't know if I should make a video on this or not because it's a really developed idea of what I would want from Smash Six, and I don't think it's what most people would want at all. But but I would want
Add
it
the 8K and
obviously
add
to
one
be
taps, and that'll make you happy.
a um I would love it like Nintendo to really support their game and build the setup tournaments and build a competitive community. Like design a
Yeah.
game for competition like that, as well as still being for um, fun. Uh,
Yeah, I agree to that. I think that's also a good idea. But
Not that they
here's
haven't
the
done that, but people are still.
well,
But
the
they haven't
addendum
done
I
that a
would add to
lot, and
that.
people are people still play Melee too, and they're obviously trying to make sure that's not happening. They want people playing their modern, which is understandable, but it's weird.
You know what I think would be the best state for any fighting game really to be into, or for the esports scene would be simply make it so that, man, I really am not articulating myself very well today.
That's it.
Have some tournaments sponsored by Nintendo, and then have all the other tournaments sponsored independently, but with Nintendo signing off on it,
Yeah,
similar to how Counter
that's
Strike
what
does.
Counter Strike has right now, and it's great. Valve has their majors, and everyone else, but then besides that, every other tournament has to follow Valve's rules.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I think that leads to a super healthy esports environment
Yeah,
where things stay competitive, but also you don't have the overreaching, like, I'm the game developer, do as I
yeah,
demand. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing about Smash is because it's just one person and not a whole team. Uh, and not every Smash player has a. I don't think it's as big of a thing as it used to be to have, like, this is Cloud9's Smash player. This is Team Liquid's Smash player. I don't think that's as big of a thing as it used to be.
I don't think you need orgs.
So,
Yeah.
you don't need to have at like these huge prize pools. You don't need to have gambling sponsors like Counter Strike has all the time. Like, you can just have uh, smaller prize
Well,
pools because it's just and those one and it's just one person. It can be
yeah.
like you can just have some dude who's really good at the game win this tournament rather than this guy who's a part of this org or this or that kind of thing. So
Well, I also don't think Smash Bros would lend well to that style. Like, really. You don't
I
need
agree.
orgs.
Yeah.
One guy. You don't need gambling sponsors, and it wouldn't match the. Pardon me. It
Nintendo
wouldn't match the
certainly
vibe
wouldn't
of them,
love that.
anyways.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to gamble over for Smash Bros. Like, the reason gambling sponsors is such a big deal with Counter Strike is because you have the skins market.
Yeah.
That's entirely it.
I'm using that as an example for the really kind of shady, questionable sponsors that show up at times. There's
Oh,
like
gotcha.
and lenders and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Another. Well, yeah, Smash can just afford to be still kind of have that. I can't think of a better term for this, but that down to earth, just really fun. We're playing this game vibe. I don't think it needs to lose that.
I agree. I'm glad we can agree on
So-
this. This is a good point. I think most fighting games should take that stance because a lot of fighting game tournaments they're their own community. I can't even say they're toxic per se because I'm not really a fighting game enthusiast. I don't like fighting games, but like, dude, they're their own world. It's insane the things I see from like these big tournaments in like Street Fighter. Ow. I'm
I
getting
know
my butt
nothing
stomped.
about esports, so
I'm noticing
this
you've
is
been
what I
silent
add to
this
the
whole time.
conversation. It's cool.
Esports is a fascinating world, dude.
It's interesting.
I'll be real. The only esports stuff that I've seen has been Mega Man Battle Network 6 for the
Oh,
Game Boy
dude.
Advance, which still has an esports scene.
That's so crazy to me.
21 years later.
Yeah.
It's like a speedrunning esports scene, or like,
Dude,
how's a
there's
Mega
a
Man?
fighting. So Battle Network was it was a spinoff of the original Mega Man series where Mega Man and all of the bad guys and the good guys are their programs, their computer programs. They're essentially like virus defeating, like virus killing software, but they're also artificial intelligence. So your main character would have a Mega Man as like his in like this little console that he would plug into computers to go fight viruses and bad guys and stuff.
Okay.
So all of your combat would be semi turn-based versus matches on like a 6x3 grid. So the grid would be cut in half. You'd have your red side and your blue side, and you could freely move around on your grid and throw attacks at each other. But once your attacks run out, then the game would pause. You select a new randomized like attacks, like randomized cards.
Yeah.
And then you'd go back into
Chips.
battle and you duke it out for another like 30 seconds. It would pause, select your next attacks. So it has a whole esports scene.
Yeah.
Where
It
one
feels
of
like
you would play
almost
different characters.
turn-based, almost a turn-based tactical game.
Yeah,
It-
it's
it-
pretty dope.
It's
But it was
That's
made,
cool.
early 2000s.
yeah, it's interesting and it
and it
was a
still
Game
has an
Boy
esports
Advance game. Yeah, it's interesting in that you choose your chips beforehand, almost like selecting your turns in a turn-based game, and you're predicting your opponent. It's like you're having to make your chess moves beforehand without
Yu-Gi-Oh! Almost.
knowing if they're actually
Kinda.
how they're actually going to go, because then it's in real time and you might miss or they might counter with the shield that reflects or whatever, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it yeah, esports is so interesting in that beyond having teams and stuff for all the big esports games, there are orgs that will go, this is our Smash player or this is our speedrunner. But anyway,
Well, there's a lot of money in those organizations too.
um,
Like people underestimate. Like, let's look at Falcons. They're a big example of big money spenders right now in esports because they're not just in Counter Strike. There's branching
they
out
have
to
all
multiple.
these sports, yeah.
But what Falcons are doing, they're basically what they've done is they've entered the esports market and they're like, we just want to build a bunch of teams and compete and have fun in the esports scene. So we're gonna dump millions of dollars into just players. Like I looked up the other day, Nate, do you know what Nico's buyout would be for his 3-year contract?
It's probably like $3 million or something.
It's $1.2 million per year.
Okay, so that's about spot on.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
And that's just for a dude who plays video games really, really good.
He's really good at it, though.
He is the best player to never win a major, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's up there.
Does that make sense? Anyways, but back to the original point. So all these orgs, like FaZe Clan is a staple. They've been around for a really long time. And they went through financial troubles recently, but like some of the buyouts for their players are in like the high 100,000s, millions for one player. And they got 5 players per team, and they have all their sponsors and their streamers and all their content creators. Like these orgs have money.
Yeah, it's
Anyways.
certainly becoming more and more of a actual business thing and an actual scene rather than just.
I would equate it to like baseball or
tournaments.
football or something like that, and the style of which they're going for it.
Yeah, it's getting there for sure.
Oh, okay.
Before we get too far removed from it, though, dude, when are we gonna get PETs?
PET?
Like,
Oh
that's
my
the things from
gosh.
Mega Man Battle Network. We've literally got PETs in our pockets.
You know, with the whole
I want
AI resurgence going on
0 on my
nowadays,
phone.
it's so within our grasp
It's
to have
so there.
these like personal AI virus busters programs that we can talk to. And
Just have
be
a little
like,
AI
All
that you
right,
can speak
I'm gonna plug you in. Can you do like a just clean up on here, see what's going on? If you find any viruses, let me know what it
Yeah.
does. If you
Go
need to make
fight-
an internet search, do it. You know, go do the thing. Just let me know. And
Yeah,
have
I don't
just
need
like
crap
almost like a
cleaner.
personal connection with this little
I want you to go
like a
fight
Mega Man
the
program.
data on my computer.
Yeah.
I don't know if
that's
I
so
want
cool.
that.
I would rather, instead of us having
Because the issue is who's
smartphones
controlling that.
still use flip phones and have PETs. That's what I would want.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I want a flip phone again. Flip phones are the best.
Dude, I
Flip
had
phones are
one
amazing.
for by choice for like 2 years, and it was great.
Dude, I love those memes where it's like they show you like a whole bunch of random numbers on a screen, and then they're like, only flip phone users would understand. I love that.
Oh,
Have you guys seen I don't know if it was like
Dude, that landed
like a
flat.
reel or a
but-
TikTok or a short or something, but it was somebody talking about how like asking their kid, "Do you know what this means?" And when I do this, you guys know what this means, right?
it's the phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this means I'm on the phone. Nowadays, kids do this.
Ah,
Ugh.
Yeah, it feels wrong.
Both collectively
I'm like, what are you doing? Why is your hand next to your face?
oh.
This is how you say you're on the phone.
Yeah,
No,
It's a
I
telephone.
deny you.
Click.
not like surprise. No,
Yeah.
this is the
Now,
phone.
if you do this
not
to someone, they're like, "What are you trying to say?
Hang
Booyah or
loose,
something?"
dude.
Like, what's wrong with you?
I see this and I'm like, what do you think you're doing? Captain America? Shut it down! Shut the thing down! Close the portal!
It seems
I
to run on
fucking
some
understand.
form of electricity.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you're not wrong.
I love the first Avengers movie. Everyone's
I love
pointed
that
this
movie
out
so
a million
much.
times, but it's such a good
It's
movie.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so
Also,
much
how
fun.
many times have you seen Captain America do this? And he's not even touching his ear. There's nothing in his
Yeah.
ear. He's not touching his ear.
Uh-huh.
What is he talking into?
Well, he's got an earpiece, but the funny thing is,
Yeah.
nobody
It's
else
not in
but
the
him.
scene.
Down.
Nobody else but him does that. Everyone else just knows
Yeah.
like, oh, it's the Star Trek thing. I don't need to hit my communicator. It's just gonna talk back. But he's like
Yeah, but it's not in the
the old
scene.
guy.
Like, there's nothing in his ear when he does it.
Oh,
It's a
that's-
microchip, man.
I don't
It's
know,
a
dude.
micro communicator.
If you're in England, it's a micro crisp.
Oh yeah.
That one broke Nate. I've been trying to break Nate with stupid jokes this whole time, and I finally got him.
crisps. Oh,
Um, Man, the old Avengers, the first Avengers, was so good.
it's such a good movie.
I've been
Question is getting summons
slowly
cheating.
watching some of the old Marvel movies, and
there's so many.
weirdly enough, it makes me it's been so long, but I get so hyped watching those.
The first
Yeah.
It
Iron
just
Man is so
reminds
good.
me. It's like watching them for the first time again. It's
Because
so
it's been so
odd
long.
how that.
Yeah.
It's been so long. So I'm watching the first Avengers. I saw, my brother. You're my brother. Hi, Nate.
I'm your
Hi, my brother.
Hi, my
Um,
brother.
We went
saw it
and
in
saw it in
theaters.
theaters for my
Dad.
birthday.
Yeah.
Gosh,
And
that
it was
was a
yeah.
long time ago too.
it was fantastic. 2012.
Something like
I think it was
that.
2012.
Yeah. 2012.
Um,
Interesting year.
It was awesome. But 13 years later, I'm watching it again. I'm like, man, this movie's so good. I can't wait to watch the next one. I start watching
Can
Age
you-
of Ultron, and I'm like, it's still good.
Can
It's
you
still
explain to
so
me
good.
how the CGI in the old Marvel movies is better than the modern ones?
Okay, let me do this. You got 2 reasons. Here it is. 1, they were more rooted in practical effects. For example, I just read this thing on Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it today. X. It's weird to say that because it's not like a
X.
whole word. I read on X today that the Nightcrawler actor said
Yeah.
he just wrapped up his filming for Doomsday, and he's like, I was in a green screen the whole time, a green screen room the whole time. I don't know who I was acting with. I don't know what I was shooting for. None of that.
That's awful.
And it
That's
was
weird.
wild. And it makes me think of that scene, that behind the scenes thing of Ian McKellen, because of how digital The Hobbit had to be, which some of that was out of, like The Hobbit, the flaws that The Hobbit has are not necessarily Peter Jackson's fault. Because you gotta I don't know if you know this, but he did not get brought on to that trilogy until like 2 weeks before they started shooting. Because the guy who
Really?
was handling it before they had to kick him out, and they had to go, Peter Jackson, save us. And he gets put into this with he was not allowed to have
Wait.
any of the pre-production he had on the Lord of the Rings, none of that. Like, they had to fly by the seat of their pants, him and his team. And so it's a miracle The Hobbit turned out as good as it did. Anyway, there's this scene of Ian McKellen having to film talking to the dwarves or something, and because of the way they had to shoot stuff, and he wasn't in there with anyone else, and it was just him on set with a green screen, there's literally this moment where he's like so frustrated that he just like stops in the middle of a line and cries, because he's an actor and he wants to act with people. And so
I don't
it's
feel like it's
crazy
acting at this point.
that
You're just
you can
talking at a
have
screen.
a film where you can be working on a film and I'm just isolated in green screen stuff this entire time. Anyway, you have that kind of stuff,
Hate it.
but that's not what any of the old Marvel movies were like. They were Jon Favreau, who did Iron Man, was literally so anti CGI for so long. As far as I understand, I can't remember the name of the movie, but he literally did a film where even though we had technology to have CGI effects and all that kind of stuff, he had for his shooting, his team recreate the old whatever it's called, like motion tracking stuff that they shot the dogfighting scenes in Star Wars with. He had them recreate that technology for his movie because he was so against CGI
So
for the
cool.
longest time. So the
That's
idea of those original movies were, let's make everything as practical as we can and then use CGI to enhance. That's what makes Iron Man so timeless. That's what makes Dark Knight, the Dark Knight trilogy, so good. Is they used as little CGI as possible, because
I
practical
think they should go
effects
back to that
look
style.
better on camera. Practical effects, they feel more real, and honestly, they're cheaper. They are cheaper, which is crazy surprising. Blowing up a car is cheaper than having your CGI
Buying the
people
car.
make that car blow up. But it
Yeah.
takes more time to
Who
do
cares?
practical effects. So nowadays people just go for the more money, less time, because they want stuff to get out as fast as possible. But the problem is stuff is less grounded. Stuff doesn't look as good. When you're using as little CGI as possible, you actually get to spend more time on the CGI. So that's why some of those old Marvel movies look so good, is because there's less of it. So the CGI that is there is being grounded in reality by other things, but also they just got to spend more time on it. And as the movies went on, there are a few things that happened. One, a lot of their backgrounds that they started shooting in were CGI. That used to not happen, even in crazy fight scenes. They would still have sets for some degree, but now they kind of have adopted this thing, if we're talking Marvel, where we're gonna have people shooting behind the green screen with a CGI background, and we're just gonna have shallow depth of field, so it's kind of blurry around everyone except who's in focus. Where you didn't need
That's
to have
weird.
that back in the day. Everything was more stylized. The first Avengers has this very like warm kind of orange filter going on with it that I really really like. And you watch Iron Man 2 and everything is just so neon. If it's neon, it glows. Like they were these very stylized movies, and now they kind of all look the same. There has been an overuse of CGI, a lack of time put into this, and lack of personality in the shooting and in the art direction for the film that has led, I think, to, even if the CGI is lower resolution, well, was back then was lower resolution, the stuff nowadays looking worse.
Yeah.
I probably
Yeah.
could have explained that all much easier, but I just, I
That's okay.
tangent.
Sometimes
That's
I
good.
like your
That's a
long-winded,
good explanation.
overcomplicated explanations. I like them sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I would like to know why they got into this mentality of quick, make money fast, because it's really not necessary. And if they would just take their time, it would be so much better, and they'd probably make way more money if the movies were higher quality.
Yep.
Like, let's be real, that mentality makes no sense to me.
They just
It's like
didn't always think like
infecting.
that, is the problem.
Well, it's an
Yeah.
infection of society, I think. People are like, make money fast because fast is better. We don't have time. You have plenty of time. If you make something truly great, you'll make more money by investing that time than you would by trying to speed through it and not do a good job.
If it's something that people love, they will wait.
Yep, absolutely.
Or how about this? If it's something worth making, you'll take your time making it.
Hmm. And something
And
worth
people will
making is
like it.
worth waiting for.
Maybe.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but they haven't always thought that. Like you and I, the three of us, we hear that. Oh, yes, go slow. Spend the time making the thing. Make it good. Do the Kojima thing where this game's gonna be done where it's gonna be done, and it's gonna be weird, and it's gonna be exactly what he wants it to be. And that's
Yeah.
what you're gonna wait for, rather than let's just
That's
get stuff out
Stranding.
as fast as possible. But that's why they made the Star Wars movies as fast as they did. That's why they rushed those, is because it's kind of the investor mindset of, this is popular right now. This is a hype train. We're gonna jump on this and milk it until we can't get anything out of it anymore. And so Marvel starts doing really well. Marvel's really hype. Marvel. Make as many movies as we can, as much as we can, rather than,
So,
hey, this is doing
yeah.
really well. Let's continue doing what we were doing that made it popular, where we're going to take our time.
So this is
And
something interesting to think about, and it's something I think as much as I rag on Games Workshop for, I don't rag on them often, but when I do, it's usually because they're being greedy. But Games
Oh,
Workshop does this incredibly well, which is they take their time, they release lore very slowly, and guess what? The build up and the wait gets people just as hyped as if you just drop it out there.
yeah.
And if you make them wait for it and it's good, the disappointment will keep them and you'll have a repeat customer.
Okay.
So, by just what my roundabout way of what I'm getting to here is if you just drop movie, this is popular, get them out, what you're going to do is release a bunch of crap that no one wants to see. And then unfortunately what's going to happen is you're going to lose your credibility with your audience and they're going to no longer want to watch your movies. And so the next few movies are going to perform less in the box office, i.e. movies like Captain Marvel or, you know, any other modern Marvel movie that's done terrible in the box office. And now, guess what? Those customers aren't coming back. They're not going to watch your next movie. And you've killed yourself by shooting yourself in the foot because you were impatient.
Yeah. It makes me miss to some it's funny. I don't know if I just like this idea because of the charms of youth, of being a young person and thinking back and going, oh, everything was so much simpler. But I miss there only being one Star Wars thing that's going to come out every few years, or one Marvel thing that's going to come out every few years. And we watch the movie and we get so excited, and now there's this period of waiting where you talk with your friends and you theorize and you hype up, oh, what if they do this? What if they do this? What if they do this? And now there's Star Wars stuff and Marvel stuff coming out all the time, and I have no idea that 60% of it was coming out or even exist. I mean, there's been so much stuff that both Marvel and Star Wars have done that I've seen in retrospect. Like, oh, that's a thing. Like, what they just made a new. Didn't they do a Tales of a new Tales of, was it Tales of the Empire or something? Something.
So they did Tales of the Empire, and then they did Tales of the Underworld.
Is that might be it? I had no idea that was a thing. I didn't know until I saw it on Disney Plus one time. And Marvel's got all these movies, and they're just
Marvel has like 40 movies.
I can't. I
actually 40 movies.
am not aware of so many of them, and I wish there was just less and it was more spaced out, and we just had the one thing to look forward to.
I agree with you, Nate. I think the issue is just like, and this is, like I said, it's a societal issue. Our entire society has gotten to this mentality. Make money now, make money fast. It's like, no, slow down. Because you're looking at the short term. If you look at the long-term gains you'll get from taking your time and spending the time on it, first of all, at the end of the day, your life will be much more fulfilling and you'll hate your life less because you won't regret as much. It's kind of like what you were saying earlier about the multitasking. You were trying to do 5 things at once because you didn't want to waste your time. You wanted to be efficient. That mentality, now that you're older and you look at it, you're like, oh, I was actually wasting my time not being more efficient because I wasn't enjoying anything.
Yeah.
That is the exact mentality all these movie studios are having, and that's why their movies are bad. And 20 years from now, when they're probably going to be all bankrupt because no one watches their movies anymore because they're pumping 3 out every year, well, that's why. Because you're not slowing down, enjoying the art form, enjoying the moment, enjoying what you're doing. And it's going to lead to great regret later.
That's something I love about Nintendo, which obviously there's a lot of politics that surround them and a lot of their decisions that I'm not necessarily in the know on, so I don't want to get into any of that. But I will say, from a development perspective, I know it seems like they've rushed a lot of their from what I've read or heard, and I don't know how correct this is because I haven't played any of these. It seems like they've rushed a lot of their sports games and stuff like that in the past few years. Oh, good job, Brendan. But
I just got
the
clapped.
but their big main games are done when they're done, and you just have time to wait. Like, oh man, what's Smash 6? What's that gonna be like? It's gonna be years, but when it comes out, it's gonna be good and it's gonna be done and it's gonna be exactly what they want it to be. Waiting for the next Zelda game, waiting for the next um Mario game, and it's not like every game's perfect. Pokemon, I don't think those get rushed, but Game Freak is a small team, so
Nice.
they're not as polished as the newest Mario game might be. But we haven't had a Donkey Kong game in years, and now they've just released this Donkey Kong game, and they
I bet
announced
you it's
it,
gonna
and
be amazing
everyone was
too.
so excited for it,
I think it
and
is pretty
people are
good.
saying like this is good. This might be the game of the year, the new Donkey Kong game. So. Uh,
Which is crazy to
it's
think
cool.
Donkey Kong could get Game of the Year.
DK, man. Everyone's got DK fever.
But I guess to end this whole point, because we are kind of harping on the same thing over and over, just at the end of the day, the things that take time are also like time equals value.
Yeah.
Something about the tortoise and the hare.
The
I
tortoise
just
wins
lost
the
5,000
race.
souls.
Yeah, the tortoise wins the race.
Yeah.
So Brandon
So
should
I
have
want to
gone
point out what was
slower there
stupid
because time equals.
Well, actually, no, that was just I messed up my timing. No, let's go backwards because I was stupid. I forgot if you attack Hodrick, he has a billion health and will one-shot you. And I was like, I just need to get out of the pit. Instead of using the homeward bone, I attacked Hodrick, and then he one-shot me. And then I forgot, oh yeah, my souls will be at the bottom of the pit, and I won't be able to get those until I beat the Cursed Rod at Greatwood. And then I ran in there and missed my roll timing, and that is what's called punishing the player for being greedy. Anyways,
Or
Dark
to
Souls is
add
great
to
at
our
that.
whole point, if you would just slowed down and gone, I'm going to use the homeward bone, everything would have been good.
True.
There it is. Brandon, thank you so much for setting up a tangible example for to wrap up our conversation with.
That part of the conversation, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What is it? We're 57 minutes into recording. You guys ready
Wow.
for our topics?
Let's do it, man.
I've got
I'm gonna be
one.
real with you. For all the viewers out there, I didn't bring a topic.
I feel like you just had your topic.
Was
We
that my
got into it.
topic?
Sure.
All right, I'll take it. Yes, I totally planned on having a 35-minute conversation entirely about movie studios needing to slow down and take their time. That was intentional. Dude, I love Dark Souls. And you know what's crazy about Dark Souls, Nate? Is
Oh.
the lore that is hidden behind item descriptions.
Yeah. To get into my topic, I want to talk about.
You like that transition?
Yeah, you got us. You uncatted us. You got us back onto topic. My topic for today is I just want to talk about games that have super cool lore that is either never talked about in general, in the game, outside of the game, in fandom or whatever, that I just never hear talked about or we don't ever hear talked about, or that just aren't focused on by the game. So to iterate the question again, games, or the topic again, games that have, I want to talk about games that have super cool lore that is either never talked about in general or not focused on by the game. And I think the most prime example of this is Dark Souls, because their lore is talked about outside of the game by people because they get super duper interested in it. But for the most part, I've heard Dark Souls is storytelling referred to before as implicit storytelling. And I think that's a
Yeah, they imply
great,
it all.
like implicit storytelling rather than explicit storytelling. And I think that's a great way to describe it, because there's all this stuff there, but they're just not gonna tell it to you, and yet people find it so interesting, right?
Stretch. Yeah, no, it also like they don't tell it to you, but if you do the work to research into it, it's dope, dude. It's super complex, it's really grim, it's really freaking cool. And like
One of those things where they do tell some of the lore in the game, but a lot of the stuff you see is or hear is whenever you go to talk to somebody, sometimes they'll drop like, yes, I was part of this thing and I did this thing and this other thing, and they're using terms that you kind of have to be in the know
Yeah.
to understand, because if you don't understand, boy does it sound like a bunch of gobbledygook. But like if you're in the secret lore club, you know exactly what they're saying and how big of an impact what or little of an impact what they're saying means. That's kind of cool. That's neat.
Yeah.
And then you get into the flavor text, which like every item has lore to it. If you just
not
read
every,
about it,
all the boss items. I think a lot of the
all the
armor
cool
sets
stuff.
do.
Mhm.
Yeah, all the stuff that matters does.
This was worn by a person from blah 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 blah. That kind of stuff.
And
Yeah.
I love Dark Souls 3 does this a lot, but they'll do a lot of callbacks to Dark Souls 1 and 2 with
Mhm.
their items.
Yeah.
I love that. I love a good callback.
I remember this is sort of unrelated, but there was a show. I think it was an anime.
I forgot this
Log
guy existed.
Horizon.
Database.
That one. Yep. That had the. I think that's Man with a Mission.
all I know about
it was.
Oh, didn't they also
There
do
was
the
a
Iron Man Armored Adventure theme or whatever?
Man
Those
with a
guys?
Mission. If they did, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
I could be wrong.
I don't think so. Probably not. But that show, it was a show where a bunch of people got sucked into a video game. As
That's become a very common
it's,
theme in
it's so
anime.
overdone. But it was one of the it was one of the first, I think, to inherit that that trope, that theme. But there was I think it was in like later on in the first or second season or whatever, there was a plot point that revolved around looking at the flavor text inside of an item inside the game to know what it means or how it impacts the rest of like one of the characters was able to use the flavor text of an item to create a contract, an in-game contract item, to negate that item's effect or that item's text and change it. Like he turned an NPC into a player character or whatever, and because of flavor text. And I was like, wow, that's so Dark Souls. That's so cool how they got to that.
It's probably
Yeah.
a nod to Dark Souls, honestly.
Probably, yeah, probably. Although I
just
think a
the
lot of
idea.
Japanese games have a lot of like stuff hidden in tech. Not hidden. It's for
Oh.
you to see, but a lot of lore can be found in things like in the maybe I'm wrong, but I think the Persona games or the Shin Megami Tensei games, Monster Hunter has lore in its items, like its weapons. All of its weapons usually have like a sentence or whatever. Like this weapon was used by the third knight of this kingdom or whatever. Which is kind of meaningless stuff, but it's cool that there are so many games that kind of follow in that trope,
Yeah.
like Dark Souls, where you can have lore inside of text of these.
You know what else I
weapons
love
and
about
stuff.
Japanese game
Armor.
developers too? Japanese game developers are not scared to collaborate with each other all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
not
almost
so
never
super
see developers of the Western world collaborating because they always look at everything like, hey, Halo and Call
It's a
of Duty
competition.
can't collaborate, we're competing. But like if they were both made by Japanese studios, I feel like you would have Captain Price Halo dropping in.
Which
You
is
know what I'm saying?
ironic because Halo ODST it just got announced for Helldivers.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's sick.
PlayStation Studios.
That's pretty cool.
produced Game. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Xbox-
shown the trailer from the PlayStation YouTube account.
PlayStation
It was
YouTube channel,
ODST
yeah.
coming to Helldivers. I'm like, what is the world we're living in?
Well, do you know why that is, right? Xbox is forcing
yeah.
PlayStation's hand. They're like, look,
Yeah.
we're doing this collab with Steam. We are killing the console wars. If you don't like it,
Yeah.
join us.
Well, they've basically
Major
backed out.
props to Microsoft.
So again,
They
it's
what?
just Nintendo and PlayStation again, and they've each gotten their own niches. So
Which is really just PlayStation because Nintendo isn't very good at the console wars. They never really were.
Well, and also Nintendo's making a lot of mistakes right now against their own audience. They're just like, it's almost like they're fighting their own consumer base.
It's kind
It's
of
odd.
interesting.
Like, am I the only one noticing this?
No, plenty of people are noticing this. I just don't think there's anything that's going to get done. I don't think Nintendo cares necessarily, or if they do, they haven't made it vocal. Um,
Yeah.
with all the
It's
stuff
just
going on with the Switch 2, it's weird. And like I
it's
get it,
so
a lot of
weird.
the stuff with the Switch 2 is you're gonna get your thing bricked if you use third-party materials or you try to mod it or jailbreak it. Like
Which some of
obviously
that was
none of
true with the
us,
first Switch too. People just didn't talk about it as much.
What?
but none of us are going to do that. But it's still kind of strange.
None of us
It's
three,
just
but plenty of other people.
it's looking at
It's
how things could be in the future if they have that kind of a hold on things that we have spent $500, right?
yeah.
$500
450.
purchasing,
450.
It's
whatever. It's practically
also
500.
like
If they can
the
go ahead
terms they
and
use when speaking
brick
about
it,
it.
is just looking at that from a future perspective. What's next if this is being allowed? And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I
And it's
get
the
that.
That's kind of the
terminology they
issue.
use is they're like, you don't actually own this thing that you just spent $500
Yeah.
on. You're buying the license and the right to use it. What?
That's the thing.
I
is
just gave you $500, bro. I
we-
own
we talked
this
about
thing.
this.
they have designed a really good console and they're
Mhm.
making great games. But people are just at the place where honestly I see this every day because the majority of people I follow on X that talk about games all are physical media
Gosh.
enjoyers. And physical media is a very rare thing nowadays. You get you can because digital is
Struggling
so
right now.
convenient, right? But you get you'll get a game from for your Nintendo Switch 2 or for your PlayStation or whatever, you'll get a game that might not actually have any data on the disc, and the disc might just be the thing that allows you to download it.
It's a key.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't think
Um,
that's okay. If you're spending $80 to play their game, you should own that game.
Yeah.
Straight
and
up.
some
I'm
of that
sorry. There has
is-
been an exchange of currency. It's very, very concerning that that's the route all these business, like Nintendo is trying to go with it. No, I don't know why I said all of these businesses. They're not.
Well,
We're also
but
not the
plenty
first
are.
people
I
to
mean, you
try
just
and do
don't
that.
you just don't own anything really anymore. And the like I get the convenience of digital, and I'm going to be honest, I've not bought a physical game. I literally can't remember how long it has been since I bought a physical game, but let me tell you something
Yeah.
that happened maybe a month ago now. There was a game I was considering reviewing for the show. I'm not because Scott, we really took very, very good care of our PS3 games and later, but a lot of our PS2 games are scratched beyond belief. And so there's a
Yeah.
PS2 game I was trying to test, and I broke out the PS2 and I got out the game thing and I took out the disc and put it in there, and it just felt really, really good to do that. And so
Yeah.
I've been full on the digital convenience train for years and probably at this point might stay there, but I wish to some degree it's hard because of the space it takes up, but I do wish that I had kind of kept with physical media because, and this is just a really, I don't know if this is a very good excuse or very good explanation, but because it just feels good. It feels good to go, this is the thing that I own, and whenever I want to use it, I'm just going to take it out and put it in this console that doesn't need internet to function and play the game. And so the problem, again, as stated, is that you just don't really necessarily own things anymore. And that's not a problem on paper. Why? Because the thing is, people say, well, if all the internet in the world goes out, how am I going to be able to play my games? Well, if all the internet in the world goes out, you probably have bigger problems.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but
Thank you, Nate, for saying that. by the way.
but the genuine statement of Well, what happens in 10 years when they stop supporting this console and the market goes down and I can't download the game anymore no matter what I want to do? Well, yeah, that
Yep.
sucks. For example, this could also get into the whole conversation of game preservation that we've talked about. The problems with that.
Mhm.
I really, really have wanted to find a way to play some PSP games, but not only
It's
does
so hard. It's
does
so hard.
PlayStation make it really hard to get games off your PS3 onto your PSP now, but you can't. Recording from a PSP is a bear, and the same is problem with the 3DS. There's all these really cool 3DS games. The store's not up anymore. You can barely get them. You can't get a 3DS. There's all this stuff that is lost to time. And if you had it, if you were there for it, it's cool. But I it's frustrating to me, I guess, that we've gone from this mindset of, and this even goes back to the movie thing of let's be creative, let's make this for the sake of making something that's awesome and not just because we want to earn from it. And we've gotten too far from that, but we've also gotten too far from let's learn from the past. Let's celebrate the great games we've made. No, it's all about the new hotness. Get the new thing, get the new thing, get the new thing. And there's no support for all the old stuff. And I know you can't do that forever, but AOL is just now finally shutting down.
That's amazing, by the
The
way. They lasted
beep,
that long.
boop, boop, boing, boing, boing. That kind of stuff is just now finally shutting down. And it has been so long.
But even then, that kind of stuff can still be ran independently on private networks. Like,
Probably,
it's
yeah.
not dead. No, I mean it can be. That's the thing. Like the company that made it is no longer supporting it, but you can still run it on private networks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah.
but
I
um,
just it goes back to that. I don't know when this mentality really took hold, but it's a societal mentality of everything fast, make money now. And I just don't like it.
I
yeah,
think
it
with
makes me wish that
Nintendo, it was
we
after
we
the failure of the Wii U is when they changed, obviously. Because
oh
they had Virtual
You think
Console,
so?
which Virtual Console is my favorite, my most favoriteest thing. Because I don't really care for the Nintendo Online thing they have now. It's cool, but I don't want to play all those games,
it's just
and I would
weird
rather
though.
just buy the one game than have the subscription. Um,
Yeah,
that's actually what I've done with PS Plus. I'm at the lowest tier of PS Plus now because I've realized I'm paying all this extra for this, and I don't care about half these features. If there's a game I want to play
yeah,
that you
Oh my
released
goodness.
free for PS Plus people, I it's probably like I'll just get that one game, and there's all this other stuff that I'm not going to play, and in the long run I'll probably save money. Um, with with Nintendo, they had Virtual Console up until the Wii U failed, which the Wii U is my favorite console ever. Um, so
The Wii was an excellent console.
I really
Yeah.
liked that, and it had a lot of great games. People just didn't get it because of
hmm
there's marketing. There's a lot of reasons why, but Nintendo up until then was still very co-op focused, family oriented, very much let us innovate, 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 innovate. And the problem with the Wii U, part of why that failed and a lot of its games failed, if you think of stuff like Star Fox Zero, is because they went, well, let's have a new way of controlling a game that has never been before. But people did not want to learn that. They just wanted the same stuff they'd always been getting. They didn't want to have to learn. They didn't want to have to deal with this new thing. And to some degree, that's very understandable. But I think what's happened is, um, it's after that the change took place of we're just gonna give these look at the Call of Duties of the world. It's just gonna be the same thing every year.
Speaking of Call of Duty, have you seen the Black Ops 7 trailer? It's
Dude,
so bad.
I didn't
It's
even.
so bad.
I thought they were still on Black
The
Ops
only
4.
the last Call of Duty, I have Black Ops 5.
What?
I have the only Call of Duty thing I've seen recently is the Call of Duty mobile crossover with Gundam.
Oh.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be terrible.
Apparently, it's pretty good, but
Well,
that's
Black
it.
Ops, Black Ops 7, the trailer, watch it later, it's awful. So they decided to release this trailer the week that Battlefield 6 was doing their open beta.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh.
oh, dude. So Battlefield 6, they listened to the consumer for once, which is incredible
Whoa.
to me.
EA?
I know.
Whoa.
They listened to the consumer.
Whoa.
They simplified the gameplay. There's no unnecessary competitive mechanic in your Battlefield game. It is a stripped down, team based, objective shooter with hundreds of people in the lobby.
Cool.
That's it.
That's
It's just grounded and well built. So while that is being
I
play
think I
tested,
know what you're talking about. I think
the
I've
Black
heard
Ops
rumors
6,
about this
the
in the
Black
gaming
Ops
sphere
7 trailer drops, and it's like, we're gonna wall run in Black Ops 7, and the road is gonna twist, and there's mental mind stuff, and it's all neon crazy, and you're like, this is Call of Duty. I
I'm
recently
very
replayed the
confused.
Modern Warfare games. I'm just like,
It looks like a Vocaloid concert.
how did we go from
Hatsune
one of the best campaign trilogies in any shooter ever of Modern Warfare? How did we get here? Like,
Fortnite
why-
looks more grounded than this does.
it's like, how did Black Ops get to this point where they, at one point in time, based only on the Modern Warfare series and the Black Ops series, not Activision, who does, I don't care
It's
anymore who does
Activision
Call
that
of
makes
Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah.
Is it still? Okay.
Mhm.
How did they go from some of the best campaigns ever made for any shooter? I just shook my desk. I'm passionate right now. To, yeah, neon wall running and the road is twisting. It's like, okay, go back to what works.
Stick to your
Stop
niche.
being stupid.
Stick to your niche.
Like, you know
To
what
some
made the
degree.
Modern Warfare campaigns so good? Modern Warfare 2 is super grounded. The main chunk of the campaign is so patriotic that Uncle Sam's ghost wakes up and salutes you as you play it, okay? You are fighting in the streets of America, holding the Russians off from the US Capitol. The final mission in that part of the campaign is you fight your way through the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., and get to the roof and light a green signal flare to show we are still fighting. Yeah, America!
That's
Black
cool.
Ops 7 is now, yeah,
I-
neon lights and roads, and yay!
I get.
Shut up.
I really believe to some degree in eventually putting a twist on your niche. So that'd be like Final Fantasy being kind of mid magic, sci-fi meets fantasy, but mostly rooted in medieval fantasy with some sort of like post-apocalyptic world. I that's Final Fantasy at its core with all its themes, and it's got airships and this kind of thing. But then you have games like 10 or 12 that have a lot more tech than all the other games, or 7 that is literally
13.
going, yeah, or 7 that's literally, we're going to make it all industrial. It's going to be in a world very, very similar to ours rather than like Lord of the Rings.
But see, that's totally
But-
fine because
but
that doesn't lose the
they
spirit
don't-
of what Final Fantasy is.
Yeah, they're taking roots. They're just taking aspects of their original concept and changing the levels. I think if Call of Duty wants to make something kind of cyberpunky, they can, or very futuristic, they can. But the weird thing about that is, well, literally the name of the franchise is called Call of Duty, so I expect this to be about being a soldier. and
I did
fighting
just
in the
look up some
military. And so
pictures.
if
I
you
just looked up
go
Black Ops 7.
super beyond that,
You see what I'm talking
it
about,
gets
Scott?
weird.
No, actually, all I'm seeing here is it still looks about the same. There's some zombies stuff. Like
Oh.
there's like some DLC stuff. It's like
Look at the
this
game
is
release
what's
trailer.
coming out in like the battle pass or whatever.
They haven't
But
even
I mean, a
released
lot
the
of the
game yet. They just announced it, and they already have a battle pass.
I hate those
I'm so
things,
sick of
dude.
battle passes.
well, I'm expecting there's going to be a battle pass. I'm not saying there is, but it just looks like actually some of this looks like Titanfall, if anything. I'm not
Watch.
seeing any neon.
That's actually funny
looking things.
considering it's now an
Neon was the
Xbox
wrong
game.
word, I think.
and
I was just
Titanfall.
ranting.
But it does look like Titanfall. I will say that.
It
I
glows.
I don't
There's
think it's a
glowy
bad thing,
techie
but
stuff.
I
Did you
would
just
prefer
watch
an actual
the?
Titanfall game.
Did you just watch the trailer, or are you just looking at like the website, looking at it?
No, I just looked up Black Ops 7, and I went
Okay,
to
look up
images.
the gameplay trailer that they
Alright,
had.
I'm looking
There's
at it
literally
right
a
now.
part.
I'm gonna
There's
scrub
literally
through it.
there's literally a part where like you're running down the road and the road is like lifting in the air and twisting under your feet or something.
That sounds like something out of control.
Nicaragua.
I don't know.
Whoa.
Big
Yeah,
rat
there's
time.
like giant hatchets flying through the sky.
Yeah. Like it turns into
Whoa!
Doctor
Yeah, the
Strange.
road looks like something out of Mario Kart or Doctor Strange. Yep.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like why
this
is
is
my Call of Duty game Doctor
That looks like
Strange right now?
Titanfall. That looks like Helldivers. I see it. Okay, so the whole neon thing is because where are they? They're running across like an ad billboard in Tokyo.
That's floating
So
in the
I
sky.
guess it's connected to some buildings.
That's wild.
It's weird.
yeah.
Yeah, it's connected
s-
to like a crane.
But that's not Call
Alaska.
of Duty, bro.
I just expect
Hey.
Call of Duty and Battlefield to be very
There's
grounded.
robots. There's wingsuits. That's pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of this just feels like I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in the know, but there is some weird things. But I think oh, there's a grave. That's sad. This is my live review of the Call of Duty 7 gameplay reveal trailer. This looks like Metal Gear. Okay, now there's a giant hand. There's a giant farmer attacking people. This looks like something. This is like a Matrix game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not Call of Duty. You've made.
That's
You've made.
interesting.
You've
I
made.
feel like I just watched the farmer from Resident Evil 7 attack a bunch of Spec Ops guys,
Dude,
and there was a robot there too.
that game trailer screams to me, we don't know our identity or what we want to do with ourselves. So we're going to make our game literally everything in one.
Maybe.
It's like, we're going to do Helldiver, whatever, Helldiver, Titanfall, arcade
Matrix.
games.
It's the
You're like,
it's
why?
the crossover bug. It's the MCU. Every film has to connect to another. It's the we got to have all of these, as many characters as possible in Smash
All the
Bros. It's the
genres.
we have to have all of this stuff in Fortnite. I really don't like the idea of games as a service, of games that release and don't have, and if they have any content afterwards that isn't just standalone DLCs. I don't like battle passes. I don't like that kind of stuff where you can get a game and not have everything there unlockable for you for just the asking price you paid the game for. You paid for the game, unless it is a competitive game that has a scene. So something like well, first of all, I'll say this. Part of the reason I don't play Street Fighter is because I can't handle the thing fighting games do nowadays, where we're going to release the game, we're going to give you 16 characters. Okay, in a year, for another $40, we'll give you 16 more characters and 10 more stages. And then in a year, for another $40, we'll give you 6 more characters and 10 more stages. And 3 new songs and 19 new costumes. I can't handle that. I just need to buy the game, and this is exactly everything you're going to get. And so I don't like the whole Battle Pass or games as a service thing, unless it's something like Counter-Strike or insert another esport thing here where you're going to be playing this for a long time. The game is probably very cheap or free, and the content that is here is not necessarily um, uh, is not necessarily going to affect your gameplay. I get something like an MMO as well. That's different. But besides that, and besides games like Counter-Strike that are big and competitive, I really don't like the whole Battle Pass idea. I really don't like that. But the difference between Halo Infinite and most of the other Halo games before is you had to pay to unlock all of the costumes instead of, no, not, I mean, all the armor pieces and all of that stuff, instead of I bought the game, I'm just going to play online and get this stuff as I progress. No, you have to have the Battle Pass. You have to. I just want the complete package. And it comes
Yeah,
down to that.
I don't want
It's
to
a similar
pay
mindset to
20
that we
different
don't own
times.
anything anymore, right? You can't just get
Yeah.
the simple, pure, complete product.
Right.
There's got to be something else nowadays, and it's
I feel like they
weird.
just don't release completed games anymore either. Like, when was the last time a
They've been
AAA
getting
game
better at it.
had well, better is not good enough. I want if what I expect from a AAA studio. The whole point you're a AAA studio is because you have money to invest into this thing, right?
Mhm.
So I would almost demand, if I'm going to buy your AAA game, if I'm going to pre-order it, if I'm going to give you my money, then you need to have your stuff together. I don't want to see game-breaking bugs on day one. I don't
Yeah.
want to see half the content not available because you're time gating or because you just don't want to have your content easily accessible on day one. I want you to give me the full thing from the first minute I play the game.
Yeah.
Period.
I think
You're a
Nintendo
AAA studio. You have the money. Don't
first
nickel and
party.
dime me after I paid $70 to play your game in the first place.
I think
Anyways.
Nintendo first party games and PlayStation first party games and Square and Capcom, I think they do that pretty well. But there are plenty of other games where you get it, and I mean you hear about it all the time. Oh, here's when Cyberpunk came out. This game is glitchy and broken.
Yeah.
The new Metal Gear game apparently does not run well. Uh, you've gotten plenty of other games that they come out, and there's just got to be changes. There's just stuff that is not finished, and
Monster Hunter Wilds runs great on console, but it runs like trash on PC, and it continues to run like trash on PC.
okay, so
And
Capcom
that
is
shouldn't
not
be an
perfect
issue,
at it
right?
then.
Yeah. So
Like-
it's great for everybody on console, but if you look at the Steam reviews, they're all mostly negative because people
Just 'cause
can't
it
run
doesn't
it
run good.
on PC.
Well,
And they're trying to work on it, but it's probably not going to get patched until this winter.
well,
But that's also, you know, what you're
PC's
saying,
hard, but
Yeah.
but
Isn't
but
it
they
though? I feel
but
like
they had
console's just better.
well
I feel like PC is the easiest market to work with.
I was
It
gonna
has the
say
most freedom.
it's hard in the regard that if you've primarily been developing for just consoles to optimize your game for this. But but Capcom doesn't have an excuse because World was on PC, and so you've had time to learn it.
Well,
Yeah.
I've noticed a growing. This has been happening a lot though, where games continue to come out on console and they just run better. Day one, they just run better than games do on PC.
Yeah.
Which makes no
I've
sense,
been
'cause
noticing,
PC
especially with this era of gaming, I've noticed that a lot. Which I'm
maybe
not a
it's like
PC
their
player,
last.
so it doesn't bug me. But
Maybe it's
I
their last
understand.
attempt to like force you to buy their consoles.
I
'Cause,
think
like-
console sales are doing fine.
I think
I prefer
there's
consoles.
a lot of
I don't like
reasons.
playing on my computer.
Console sales may be doing fine, Scott, but they still
the
want you to buy
pinpoint
more of
thing.
them. Like
Sure.
they don't. We've established this already. They don't care about
Right, I
the game.
know,
They care about
but-
the money. So
But
like,
I
gosh,
don't
darn
think
it.
that they're intentionally making games bad on one thing than on another, just to, I think that's, I don't know, that just doesn't seem right to me. Maybe I
You're
could be wrong,
I
you're
don't
it
think
just
probably
they do.
right.
feels odd. It feels
You're
like
probably
we're leaning
correct.
into conspiracy theorist territory at that point.
I mean,
Okay,
dude, I
'cause a
just
lie.
lost like
Um,
18,000
I
souls.
I think it
Oh,
has to do with a few things. Because Square, as far as I understand, because I know Final Fantasy, I think Rebirth, FF7 Rebirth, so FF7 Remake Part 2, was
Yeah,
good on PC. But I think Remake Part 1 was not very good. And I think 16 was okay. If I think that is on PC, I could be wrong. So I could have just
it
totally
just
made
came to
something up.
PC
But okay,
recently.
yeah, I think it was
It was a
okay.
console game first.
So in their case, they released these things and then gave themselves lots of time to port it to PC. But I think the problem with a lot of PC ports right now is they've made the game on console for console and then last minute have tried to pivot to put it on PC.
Yeah,
So in
so what you're
an
saying is
opposite
yet again it
example of
comes down to
this
time investment.
is Ukulele. When that game came out, it was made for PC and was very very good. But the
hmm
console versions were not good because they didn't have as much time to put into that, so they didn't run very well and they had to be updated, all that kind of thing. Um, I think in the case of PlayStation, they have very good PC ports, but that's because the game doesn't come to PC until a year after it came out on console. So if they're going, we're going to make this Monster Hunter game for PlayStation and for Xbox, then and then also put it on PC, it's probably
oh,
the last minute thing that isn't having as much time
in
put into it,
regards
you know?
in regards to Monster Hunter World came out on consoles first, and it came out on PC like a year and a half later.
Hmm. And I never
Yeah.
had any
Now, this
problems
is the
with it on
first time
PC.
that they did a day one PC. Well, I don't know what it. Rise was the same way. Rise came out on the Switch first, and then it came out on all the other consoles and the PC later. But this is the first time they've did. Here's all the consoles and PC. We're going to release them all at the same time. But it's pretty clear because Monster Hunter has always been a console first game. It has always
Yeah,
been a console game. So in the regards of
especially on
Monster and a lot of
PlayStation.
a lot of Japanese games in general, they tend to come out on consoles first.
Yeah.
Than
Well,
they
and you
do
got to
on PC.
remember
I don't
too,
know why I'm leaning so close to my mic.
Japan is ruled, besides the
We're
smartphone,
deep into
Japan
this
is ruled
conversation. That's
by
why.
PlayStation and Nintendo.
Hmm.
They do not really
Yeah,
do PC. They do not do Xbox. It's PlayStation and Nintendo unless they're on their smartphone.
yeah.
So,
Which
Which
smartphone
I guess
gaming is
that's a
huge
massive.
in
the
That's a
Japan.
P-
huge
Yeah,
market in Asia. Yeah.
the PC port stuff is, I think, is still new to a lot of them. But with the console wars kind of being over, everyone's starting to lean that direction now. We're gonna put our exclusives here. Everything's gonna be on everything. It's just gonna be about what
yeah.
did you pick up. So
I think it's a lot harder, um, going from console to console, or it's a lot harder going from console to PC than to console because you have to. I mean, it's more than just like switching the buttons and the keybinds. You have to go in and you have to change a lot of internal
absolutely,
programming
yeah,
to make it work on separate things.
yeah.
I heard a video about this once, so it was a long time ago, and I'm trying to go off of that. But um, it makes sense in my mind why it's so hard to go from one to the other instead of one that's kind of like it to another that's kind of like it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Think about it this way. Famously, the PS3 was very, very hard to work on. It was a incredibly powerful console because of how its chips were optimized. But it was very, very hard to work on to utilize the full power of it. And so there were a
Yeah.
lot of games that were PS3 exclusives that did not run very
Sure.
well on other stuff. A
Hmm.
great example of this actually is kind of, well, not a great example, an okay example of this is The Force Unleashed. Uh, it was a 360 first game, but they got the PS3 dev kit so late and that they had to optimize a lot of the game for it. And so the Xbox
Yeah.
360 version looks worse and runs worse. Um, but uh, it was very hard for games to be of the same quality back then between those two. But nowadays, every console's infrastructure is kind of the same, and the power gap is very different between them. Well, is very like the difference. I mean, is very small. They're basically just like these tiny PCs, but they have very similar specs. I think maybe the PlayStation has maybe more like video RAM, but the Xbox 360 has a little more like power. Not the Xbox 360. The Xbox Series X has a little more power. So but they're very very close. Um, but with PC, then this is why it's so hard to optimize for PC. You've got a huge range of things.
But again, I go back to
But it still goes
these
down
are
to
not
time.
small developers. These
Yeah.
are all AAA titles. They have the money and they have the time. They just don't want to invest it.
Or they're
And
just
that's my
not
primary complaint.
run super like efficiently. I don't know. I don't know how every different corporate like gaming corporations
Yeah.
business structure is laid out, but I just know that I very firmly believe in Dunbar's number. That's just me.
Quadruple 4 games is a thing. That's a thing now.
What?
We're
Quadruple
past
A
triple A's
games
now.
or whatever.
There's quadruple A games now.
Okay. They have
Yep.
even less excuse then in my mind. If you're at that level and you're releasing something that is not revolutionary or groundbreaking, you need to shut down as a company.
It's just
funny
too
to
much
me-
money and too much.
It's funny to me how we were going to talk about game lore and then we went in a totally different direction.
We'll do it next episode.
Yeah.
Will we though?
Okay. We'll see.
I'm
Who knows? We
actually-
might get to another.
I'm having way
I just
more fun with this conversation.
my as much as I do love conversations like this, I would love for our next podcast to have a little bit more of a like an optimistic note.
Just be happy. Yeah.
Because it's like, man, woe is us, woe is the video game industry, and these are the problems. Like, that's cool.
Okay. So let's end it
Talk
on a
about
better
what's
note.
doing.
Are you ready? What is one developer or game out right now that has nailed it and you have zero complaints about?
Boy, oh boy.
One
What
developer.
What was the last time you played a game and you're like, dude, this is incredible, and I have no issues with this game in any way, shape, or form.
What's yours, Brandon?
Genuinely. Are you ready? Risk of Rain. Risk of Rain 2.
Oh, well, okay.
The new DLC is amazing. I love it. The soundtrack's incredible. I think the item balance, like, there's a little item balancing issue in the beginning, but I didn't really care because I've always just had fun playing the game.
Sure.
All the tryhards who are like, I'm gonna do Eclipse level 87 and blah, 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 blah. Like, all right, dude, we get it. You know, life the game. Most of us just want to have fun.
I think for me, it's probably Terraria. I've never had an issue with Terraria. I just think it's like every content update, everything they do, it's like always hitting it out of the park and always going above and beyond. Man, Terraria is just a good time.
There's
My
a reason
only
they got
issue
the
with
label of
Terraria
Love
is that they it's the Dead Cells thing of like the game's done. Okay, but it's not.
What is it?
But the game is
What is it?
more
But we
game.
want to do this. That's my only issue.
Nathaniel,
Just-
think of it this way:
just
the
move
game
on.
may be done, the
just move
developers
on.
are never done.
I was going through my YouTube likes yesterday, and it was like 6 or 7 years ago. I found on my likes Journey's End update, and I'm like, wow, their final update was 7 years ago. Can't wait till this next update comes out with like 140 plus items, new mobs, new bosses, all these new biomes, these
There's
That's a
NPCs.
thing coming out.
Huh?
Oh, dude, that's incredible! If that's happening, more
Yeah,
content.
it crossplay, all that stuff is happening in their next update. It's just been in production for 2 years. They've been sending out teasers for this update for so long. I'm part of their Discord, so I get to see all the things when they come out and all the little like, here's this little teaser. We have werewolf mode now, or you can be a vampire and turn into a bat if you have these items. Like, that's cool. I'm here
That's
for
awesome.
it. Nate.
I haven't played a lot of new games, so I'll just say two that
Neither of the games we listed are new.
Okay. Well, I'll just start going. I guess through a few. Two I can think of that I haven't played that, but I'm just very happy that have done very well, because they were AA games made by small teams that have Game of the Year potential. One of which got Game of the Year, and one I think might get it this year. Astrobot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Astrobot was dope.
It was a complete game at release that has gotten some additional free content since release, extra levels, extra little cameos. You know, there's little Cloud and Sephiroth Astrobots are in the game now. In addition to your Kratoses and all that kind of stuff. But a very complete game at release, very polished, fun platformer. Got Game of the Year, was worth all of its money, was made by a small team, proving that you don't need to have all of this bloat and all this crazy stuff for your game to be good. You can actually just have a good experience that is well made and intentionally designed. You don't need to have an overabundance of collectibles. You don't need to have padding, any of that stuff. Just a super cool game. Very good for the industry. That is the success of Astrobot and the success of Claire Obscur and Baldur's Gate 3, which Baldur's Gate 3 is not a game I'm very hot about, though a lot of people like that.
Okay.
It's
and
just not your style.
Claire
Of game.
Obscur 33, which I probably don't know that I will play, but again, it's made by like 32 French people and their dog.
Their dog?
And
Is that an important? Where the? Heck?
Yeah, it's they have an office dog or whatever.
Wow.
Oh, dude, that's important. That's
Game-
probably their morale builder.
Game has done very well, very well made. Probably again by a small team, double A. Probably going to be
That was me getting
in-
frustrated
in
with
the
my camera
running
for a second.
for Game of the Year. That's very, very cool. So those two games, well, those three games, all being that
What just
story,
happened?
Game of the Year or Game of the Year contender, small team, very well made. Everyone is loving them. Like that is the hope of the gaming industry right now.
Yeah.
Because that is all everyone else is going like frustrated like wait, this is what people want? The same thing from years and years ago, and we've been doing all this other stuff, but that's not going to make us as much money or this or that whatever. But I think it's very cool that games like that have done well.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think at the end of the day, like you don't have to innovate everything. You don't have to change all the time.
Right.
Sometimes, like, think about this. If Call of Duty, when they innovated 4 games ago, what if instead of innovating more and changing the mechanic entirely, what if they just polished their innovation over the last 4 games?
I don't know if they need to continue coming out with more games at that point.
Exactly. Well,
Certainly
I mean,
don't
they
need
probably
a game
still
every
would.
year.
Yeah.
No, they don't. But I think, and that's another thing, like, again, I said this when you walked away earlier, Scott. Long term versus short term vision. In the long term, like, we identify absolutely, you do not have to. Let's see if I can fast roll this. Okay. You don't
Got
have
3
to.
minutes.
You don't have to make 20 games every 10 years. You can make
Yeah.
one game and make sure you update it and polish it and give it love, and that one game will make you a lot of money because people will continue to buy copies.
Yeah.
Think of a game that has gotten that kind of treatment that everyone has bought 20 copies of.
Just World of
Minecraft.
Warcraft, man.
Minecraft.
Yeah. Minecraft. I don't know. I'm. This
WoW
is a
is-
discussion for another time. I genuinely do have to go here soon, but I feel like we can have a whole conversation about Minecraft and how I actually don't care much for the modern iteration of Minecraft.
I haven't played Minecraft.
I think it's
in
worse
6
than it
years.
was 10 years ago.
I think it's more complicated.
Yeah.
But also, that might just come down, and this will be my last blurb on it. That might just come down to, like, you know it's in the game, and in your head, you're not progressing and doing it all. So, like, you're not productive. So it might be all in your own head.
Sure.
Whereas the whole point of Minecraft is it's there, you can do it. Or
Well,
you can
that's
just build
my
a
same
house.
issue with Terraria, though. Actually, is there's too much in it now for me.
And I can see that.
So I'm
too.
like, I'm not gonna. I'm good. I had my fun with it.
I think it's actually easier to progress in Terraria than it is in Minecraft in some ways. I know that sounds crazy.
I think it's
But-
easier to keep going after you die.
In
That
Terraria?
is very true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless you turn
It's just
the
faster
no
to get back to where
inventory
you were
drop
at,
on or
even
whatever.
if you lost all your items.
yeah, I guess so.
You don't
Oh.
lose your
Sometimes you can
items
just
in
brute
Terraria.
force your way back to. You can if you play like a hard mode character or
You will
something.
lose them,
You have
yeah.
to specifically set that for your character. Is an option. It's a rule where you can when in character creation you go lose money,
Minecraft
lose
mode.
items, permadeath. So yeah,
I have never played a permadeath game of Terraria.
me
But
neither.
you have played a lot of
And I
permadeath
never would.
WoW.
I've played a lot of permanent Minecraft, let me tell you. I played hardcore worlds out the wazoo. I refuse to play hardcore Terraria because I will lose.
Yeah.
I will not survive past night one.
Skeletron. He'll get you.
Yeah.
All right,
Skeletor.
folks. Hey, that was
Do we
fun.
wanna-
I kind of wish we could do this again next week, but I know people have time, so I don't know if people
Maybe.
have time for that. But
I
it's
might
up to
be
Nate.
available. I'll let you know in advance. All right. Are we calling it there? I
Yeah.
played
Go to church.
abysmally.
Okay. Well, we'll need to. I guess the next episode, whether it's in a week or two, we'll keep it positive. We'll stop. I guess we
Yeah.
all just had a lot of things we needed to like
been so
kind of
long since
rant
we've
about
talked.
with the game industry. So
Game industry is
um,
bad, right?
and with just stuff and but everyone's a little
Alright.
dissatisfied with all that. So I guess it was our time to give our 2 cents on that. Hey,
I want to point out by the
that
way-
just did some
I- oh,
wild
sorry, I ended
stuff
the
to the thing. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you when we see you.
Am I on 2 screens now?
No, you're
Bye.
half of you is on one.
Oh, cool.
All right.
All right.
Oh wait, dude, we're doing Fashion Souls right now. Yeah, look at that.
Let me see.
Anyways,
Nah.
this is so fashionable.
Nice. I like that helmet. That hat. My bad, not a helmet. Yo, these dudes are my favorite like thing to fight in these games.
little
I just think they
guys?
look
I
dope.
like their hats.
Yeah.
Those are the hoods. Those are my
The
go-to.
hood is my favorite thing
Yeah.
to wear.
Carter and I
Just
would.
got it.
Brandon would be over here in like the do you know the guy who helps you be a Rosarius finger or whatever with the cool tricorn and the metal mask or whatever? Brandon would always be rocking that or some really cool helmet, and then he's got Carter and I just running around with these thralls.
Just represent me. I would also rock the thrall hood, dude. I love it.
It's pretty great.
Some-
Yeah.
I would rock the thrall hood with you. It's when we got invaded and I got serious where I would take the thrall hood off,
Yeah.
which was 98% of the time, unfortunately.
Because we were always being invaded. That's what happens when you have to
Well,
use
when
the
you
dried
have-
finger, man.
Well, yeah, the more players you have, the more you get invaded.
Yeah.
Go figure. But
What joy.